Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
In the film, The Truman Show, we follow Truman Burbank, a man whose entire life has been broadcasted to the world as a reality television show without his knowledge. Truman's world is a meticulously crafted set, where every aspect of his life, from his friends and family to the very environment he lives in, is part of an elaborate deception controlled by the show's creator, Christoph. Truman's seemingly perfect existence, while comfortable and secure, is a carefully constructed illusion designed to entertain an audience. As Truman grows increasingly suspicious of his surroundings, he begins to question the authenticity of his world, and he decides to begin his quest for the truth, even if it means leaving behind his life of ease and pleasure. His journey from ignorance to awareness mirrors a broader commentary on contemporary life. Just as Truman is fed a controlled version of reality, the digital age bombards us with curated information, often tailored to our preferences and biases. Social media platforms, news outlets, and entertainment industries frequently present filtered versions of reality that can distort our understanding of the world. The comfort of this curated reality, much like Truman's constructed paradise, could swaddle us into complacency, making us hesitant or perhaps even unable to confront deeper truths and undergo vital growth. But to more profoundly understand Truman's search for truth and his willingness to forego the assurance of comfort for the chance of meaning, exploring an ancient version of the same concept might be useful. In the ancient Greek city of Athens, the philosopher Socrates was guided by an unusual yet profound inner voice as his daemon. This divine inner guide was not a mere figment of his imagination, but rather a source of moral direction and insight that influenced his every decision. However, Socrates' daemon did not tell him what to do. Instead, it told him what not to do, warning him against certain actions, words, or behaviors that might steer him away from what is truly right. Socrates listened to this daemon religiously, and it never failed him. His dedication to this inner voice became even more significant during the tumultuous period leading up to his trial and death sentence. When Socrates was charged with corrupting the youth of Athens and impiety, he faced a profound dilemma. He was offered an opportunity to escape his sentence and live out his days in exile, far from the city he had devoted his life to understanding and improving. But despite the prospect of a more comfortable and secure existence away from the shadows of Athenian politics, Socrates chose to remain in Athens and face his fate. He realized that if the daemon was advising him to stay, then it must be that to flee and live and not stand behind what he believed to be true must be a tragedy even worse than death. His daemon guided him to believe that fleeing would be an act of betrayal against his principles and the very essence of his philosophical mission. To Socrates, maintaining his integrity and remaining true to his values was more important than personal safety or comfort. Although Truman is a fictitious character, his story mirrors Socrates in a way that might be more relatable to us. Truman is provided with the luxuries of life, the comfort of a curated reality, and the indulgence of excess consumerism. And just as Socrates' daemon guided him to uphold his integrity and face his fate with courage, Truman's choice to abandon his artificial paradise in search for genuine experiences and growth illustrates the importance of listening to our inner voice, even if it feels like it's taking us down a more difficult path. For us, this means critically evaluating the curated information and manufactured realities that shape our perceptions. It invites us to question the safety nets of our own lives, whether they be societal norms, digital constructs, or personal comforts, and to seek out authenticity and truth. But what about this voice inside your head? Have you fed it so much damage that it has rewired itself to seek pleasure and comfort over meaning and truth? Or have you been able to follow it down the right path, and so it continues to lead you there? Maybe you're somewhere in between, or maybe you even have both these voices in your head. But one thing is certain: if we're completely honest with ourselves, it's impossible to not know what the right thing to do is. In the same way, if we're tuned into the right voice in our head and we make sure we listen to it, even if the path is filled with adversity, it will undoubtedly lead us to growth, meaning, and ultimately, truth. It's quite remarkable that we all have this voice inside our heads. We all have some internal pushback that stands between us and something we know is wrong. That is the voice speaking to you. The question is, will you listen to it?
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening,